Hey guys, Looney here, and welcome back to Friendsim 2. Last we left off, we were starting off with the salvation route of Route 14, and I did a little bit of research to try and see if the first quiz is actually possible online. Asked the dev team in the little Discord group that they have, and it is not actually possible. So, or at least super easily, so I figured just continue on. But Dharma motions for you to follow her and quickly disappears around a corner back to the parlor. You try and stay close behind, but she's already up and around a set of stairs at the far ends. For a moment, you wonder if maybe you really should have gone to try and reason with Doc Scratch, but that really doesn't feel like the right call to make. So instead you rush after Demiria up the stairs, around another corner and into an open door at the end of the long hallway. The room at the end of the hall is sparse. Honestly, it's almost completely empty. A bed sits in one corner, an empty desk in another. There's a wardrobe against the wall, and that's basically it.
Well, this is my room. Sorry, it's not much to look at. I don't have any cool stuff like she does. Sorry.
You're not sure who she means, but you're sure that it doesn't matter how much stuff she has or doesn't have. Not to you. You got this. After all, a non-zero amount of experience consoling moody Arterian teenagers, helping them work through issues with life, society, creepy, abusive, pseudo-parental figures, all that kind of stuff. So how did she end up here? Demir squints at you and shakes her head, looking off to the side.
I'm sorry. I'm not actually sure. I don't remember any time I wasn't here. I think that maybe I was really little. A wiggler? Maybe even a grub?
So wait a minute. Scratch stole her when she was just a baby? Demiria looks uncomfortable when you say this.
He says he adopted me.
You don't know about that. Sounds like he was, stealing a goddamn baby.
Is a baby like a grub? Sorry, I don't know the word.
Yeah, sure, but that isn't the point. Scratch took her when she was so little. What happened to her losses?
He told me that something happened to her when I was a grub. She was killed.
Okay, you're gonna have to agree to put this in a pin in that and come back to it later. She's been here a while then.
Well, I'm 6, so... yeah, my whole life, basically.
If I remember correctly, that's around 12 in human years? You do some quick math. If she sweeps, that means she's around 13 years old. So if Scratch took her as a baby, probably killed her Lucis and raised her as an apprentice. Great. So, does she knows what's happening on Ontario? Does she knows about what you've been up to, or in general, the whole revolution going on down there?
I know. I've seen it. Bits and pieces of it. Over hundreds of sweeps. I'm sorry, it's hard to explain. You see, we're not exactly in a specific time right now. Does that make sense?
Not even a little bit. Demiria sighs and shakes her head.
See, we're on the green moon, but also the green moon is a special place. We're all living in a kind of pocket out of time as long as we're here. So the things that are happening down on Alternia, the things you did, are all happening in one timeline. And in another, a mutant with brilliant red blood is leading the first revolution. And in yet another, his followers try to carry on his legacy, and his descendant prepares to play a game that would change everything.
You think you know that one. The timeline stuff hurts your head to think about. The idea that the rivers that branch and diverge and come back into each other.
Except, something is wrong now. It's not a river anymore. Up ahead, it's a waterfall. It drops off, and then it's just darkness.
She doesn't bother to explain that statement at all, but you think you're starting to get a sense of what's happening. Something you've been doing, it caused a major divergence in the timeline. The kind of fundamental shift that changes everything.
Exactly! I think it scares him.
So what exactly does she do for Scratch?
I'm his apprentice.
She trails off and looks around the sparse bedroom, her face turning into a scowl.
I do whatever he asks me to do.
That's extremely unsettling to hear. What kind of stuff does she ask her to do anyways? Demiria shrugs.
I don't know, just things. Weird things, like having me go and make small changes to stuff.
Changes like what? Demiria looks even more uncomfortable when you ask this.
It's hard to explain. He asks me to steal sometimes, or plant things, or, kill people.
Wait, what the heck?
It's bad people. He tells me to kill bad people, not grubs or wigglers or anything. But also, if I don't do it, if I fail, he has me. Look, don't worry about it.
Oh, I don't like that context. I'm not going to say it out loud because reasons, but that's just... She stops talking and starts picking at her fingers on her left hand, looking down at the ground. What does he make her do if she... Has she ever tried to escape? God, I can't tell. No, it doesn't look like there's scratch marks on her hands. She laughed at you.
Of course I've tried to escape. It doesn't matter. Never makes a difference. He's too powerful. All he needs to do is retrieve me and then punish me. And I'm so tired of that. Even with my abilities, he can always find me if he wants to.
Her abilities? What does that mean? Demira claps a hand over her mouth and her eyes go wide with fright.
No, I wasn't supposed to say anything. Please don't tell him.
She doesn't need to worry. You're not exactly a huge fan of Scratch.
Good. But I still can't talk about it, okay? If he finds out.
She sniffles loudly and falls into silence again, and you don't feel right trying to force an answer out. That outfit as much as I want to ask, that outfit looks familiar. Struggle to remember. She wasn't wearing this before. There was something about her old outfit. Can't quite put your finger on what that was.
I didn't like it. He wanted me in it. But I found these neat clothes in the mansion, so that's what I'm wearing now. I burnt all the other ones, so he can't stop me.
Oh. Didn't she get in trouble for that?
Of course I got in trouble for it. But I needed to do at least one thing for myself. One thing he couldn't take away from me.
What does he make her do if she fails? Demiria looks up at you, her eyes starting to tear up.
He makes me visit them all again. My friends.
Her friends?
I'm not sure the best way to describe it, but I can try.
It's okay. You explain in a tone of voice you really hope is soothing. You've dealt with some truly mind-boggling space-time crap. You're sure you can handle whatever she's got going on. Demiria takes a deep breath and closes her eyes. When she opens them again, it's like a different person is looking at you.
I was supposed to make sure a bunch of people met up with each other. Some weird olive that was living in a cave and some rebels. A jade blood and her, she was raising a mutant blood like she was his Lucis.
Wait a minute, there's something eerily familiar about the story. Yeah, it's Homestuck. You can feel your throat getting dry all of a sudden. You think you know where this is going.
There were others, and I was supposed to make sure they all met up. He said it was important to the future.
She swallows heavily, and you can see the tears boiling in the sides of her eyes.
Except they all died.
This time she sobs and bites her lips, as if that's going to keep the feelings from getting out.
But they were my friends. Kind of. I pretended to be a high-blood servant who had escaped. I wasn't supposed to, but I did it anyway. I watched a mutant blood tell people how bad the Empress is. I lived with them for a while, and I felt like I had a family.
She's not the first troll who've talked to who's to say something like this. Imagine the concept's a little different to Alterians, but you heard it before. But wait, if she's talking about what you think she is, you're struggling to understand what you're hearing. There's something in that feels so painfully close to the surface of understanding. But she's only 6 sweeps, and it sounds like she's talking about events that happened so long ago.
He says that linear time is an illusion, caused by chemicals in my brain. So, if I disobey, that means he can just send me back again and again.
Send her back where?
To when they all died. Again, and again, and again.
She shivers and the tears run down her face freely. She doesn't even bother to try and wipe them off.
So he asks me to kill bad people. And I kill them.
What's gonna happen to you now?
To you? I'm sorry, I don't know. You probably have to live here now.
Why, though? Scratch never really explained any of this to you, or why he was trying to kill you before.
Can you keep a secret?
Of course, assuming she's going to ask you not to tell Scratch, which isn't really something of a big ass to make. She knows.
He said that you were changing things by coming back. And then my friend said the same thing, so I knew it was the truth.
Her friend?
It's a long story. But for you, I think you're changing things like he has me change things, causing a, divergent timeline. That's what he calls it.
Okay, it's starting to make a little bit more sense why Scratch is so hostile to you. If you're causing a split in the timeline, maybe something about it that is causing problems to Scratch. Is there anyone else here on Green Moon? She mentioned a friend before, and she made it sound like someone that's here on the Green Moon. Is someone else here on the moon? Mia's face goes pale and she leans in close, putting her finger to her lips as if to tell you to shut the heck up.
Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. There's no way that anyone would be here.
So
it was no one! I wasn't talking about anyone!
Oh, okay. Well, that must be really lonely living here without any company.
It is. I hate it here. I hate being all alone all the time. I miss all of them.
She closes her eyes and shakes her head slowly.
It doesn't matter. An illusion caused by the chemicals in my brain.
Finally, Demiria sighs and starts toward the door. Wait a minute, where's she going? Demiria lowers her voice to a conspiratorial whisper as if she's worried about the Scratch overhearing.
You want to go meet my friend?
Oh, the mysterious friends. Well, you can't really resist the combined calls of friendship and mystery, now can you? Demiria smiles, and you think maybe it's the first time you've seen her smile since you saw her.
Sure. Come on.
Demiria leads you down the stairs and into the parlor, peering around the corner. You assume to make sure Scratch isn't hanging around. Outside the mansion, Demiria keeps looking around nervously.
Can you please stop?
Wait, stop what?
Stop thinking so loud. I'm trying to make sure he isn't going to follow us.
Oh, crap. Has she been listening to everything you've been saying? Demiria shrugs.
It's fine. Usually it's like a soft buzz, but you get loud sometimes when you're excited or nervous. He's not around. Come on, let me introduce you to my friend.
Demiria walks around the side of the mansion and finds a spot near the bottom of the house where the loose boards cover a small gap in the foundation. Moving it aside, she crawls in, and you assume you're supposed to follow her. The darkness comes in all around you, and you feel your heart starting to race. Is this a trap? Can't imagine why, but part of you is terrified that you've just been led to your death by a literal child. Wait, give me a second. You adjust your eyes adjust to the low light, and holy crap, this is definitely something else. Let's see. There's Furby plushies. There's the Santa's Nest, Azrael from the sequel, Deltarune, gaming consoles, plushies, statue. What is that? Statue of David, the stove from Homestuck. Yeah, there's a lot of like miscellaneous things. Holy crap, though. The crawl space on the mansion opens up to a kind of low room. It seems like a space under the floorboards, but it's furnished like a small apartment, absolutely packed with random junk. Looking around the room, you can see all kinds of random gadgets, decorations, and other sort of stuff. Is that a... Oh, yeah, there is a pumpkin.
Hey, get over here.
Hey, look, there's a Studio June Cup 2, which is the company that made this, and there's a Magic 8 Ball. But hey, get over here.
I told you I wanted to introduce you to my friend, not introduce you to her stuff. You can come out. They're okay.
Oh, I know.
Hey, Boulder. They have the Magic 8 hat. Wait a minute, holy crap, it's Boulder. You remember her. You remember her from before. What the heck is she doing? What the heck is she doing here?
Well, that's a hard question to answer. It's good to see you, by the way.
I forget Bodier's a girl. I thought she was a guy. Yeah, of course. You missed her so much. You missed a lot of your friends, honestly, but you mostly given up hope seeing Bodier again.
You know her already?
Yeah, you do. You met Bodier a couple weeks back. Helped her survive an assassination attempt and everything.
It was a bonding experience.
How is she avoiding Scratch?
Oh, That's a really interesting question. I wasn't even sure how I got here, much less who was living in the old house.
Yeah, you wish you could go back to not knowing anything about it, anything in here, to be honest.
Well, I know now, but I didn't. And then Damara showed up and said she knew somewhere I could be safe.
I used to come down here to hide from him. This place, he can't see it.
Huh. You know that Doc Scratch seems to have some limitations on his perception, so you guess that isn't too unusual.
We exist in a kind of narrative blind spot right now. A space that exists in between the spaces.
That seems pretty useful, honestly.
Is? But it's lonely down here too, and I can't leave without risking running into him. So overall...
Mixed bag?
Yeah.
Why is she even here? Baldur shrugs and grins at you.
I wish I knew, my friend. I just kind of showed up. I can't even remember what I was doing, but I felt something pulling on me, and then I was standing outside of the house.
You feel a shiver run up your spine. This all sounds a lot like your own experiences. How did she end up under the house, though?
Well, Damara met me outside. She was very concerned for my health and well-being.
I thought he'd try to kill you, or make you serve him, like...
She trails off and you see Baldur's face soften.
It's fine. He didn't kill me. And I'm not going to serve him. Honestly, I'm sure he wouldn't even care that I'm down here.
You're not sure that's really how Scratch operates, but Baldur shakes her head at you.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
So is there anything you can do to help her? You feel bad that she's trapped down here. Isn't there anything you can do to help her out?
Not really. Damara brings me everything I need, and it's pretty comfortable down here. I can even leave for a while to stretch my legs, as long as he's distracted or busy.
Still, it feels kind of lonely existence. She only gets contact with one person, really, and that person's being forced to serve around an arrogant demigod. It seems less than ideal, is your point.
Maybe, but Damara here deserves to have someone to talk to her, too. She never even knew her Lucis.
I told you it was fine. I can't miss someone I never knew.
Well, you still deserve someone to help you out, especially at such an important time in your life.
I guess so.
Demir looks away from Baldur, looks distinctively uncomfortable. Okay, maybe it's yet another pattern conversation topic switch. So, what's she been doing here?
Well, I've been collecting things mostly.
You noticed. Where the heck did you get all this stuff from, and how did you get it without being able to leave?
Damara brings it mostly from when she's sent places by Scratch.
But there's things here that you recognize from other worlds, far beyond the edges of time and space.
Well, that stuff I can't really explain. It seems to be drawn here. A kind of nexus for weird garbage, I guess.
It wasn't always like that. I think it started when you showed up.
She looks directly at you and you shift nervously. That comment felt very pointed. You smiled, nervous, and shrugged. Sorry about that.
Oh no, I'm glad. I get to see all kinds of things from all these different places. You should check some of it out. It's really cool.
Yeah, maybe you'll take a look at it while you're down here.
Other than that, I mostly talk to Damara here. She sees a lot of different things, and she can spy on Scratch.
Speaking of seeing things, you got the sense that Baldur was able to see things too, like other dimensions and stuff? Honestly, you're not super sure on the specifics. Baldur laughs.
That's funny. I can't see anything more than what's in front of me.
She winks and laughs again, and you get the sense that she's messing with you a little bit. So, what's with all this stuff? Baldur glances around the crawl space. There's just stuff everywhere. It doesn't look like it all came from Eternia. In fact, most of it looks like it's not from Eternia.
Oh yeah. This stuff just kind of shows up here. Let me know what you'd like to know more about.
I click on an item that's David statue, I guess? There's something both vaguely familiar and vaguely unsettling about this part of the room. It feels out of place.
Everything here is out of place.
Okay, yeah, but it doesn't feel like any coherence in the rest of the stuff. As if there's for hearing the rest of the stuff. And there's something dark and foreboding about this specific collection of... Oh, hey, it's a froggy chair. Awesome. I'd like to know about another object. Looks like a box labeled High Stop Act 3. Oh, that's where it got to. You're convinced it was never going to come out. Although, depending on when the future you're playing this game, maybe it already is. Nice.
What is it? I don't have anything I can play it on.
Oh, it's kind of hard to explain. Actually, looking at the box, it says that it came out for the Nintendo PlayStation lead-in Philips CDO i5. Pretty sure that this is widely divergent timeline from your own. Oh, nuts. You want to know if Boulder survived that train crash.
Wait, what? I was in a train crash?
Don't worry about it. Want to know about another object? Guess the TV stuff? Oh man, you vaguely remember having one of those kinds of TVs when you were a child. Maybe it was something else in memories of being a child. You have no idea. Stuff's been bleeding together a lot lately.
It works if you want to play. I've only got one game, though.
Maybe later. Actually, no, you want to play a game. Heck yeah, let's do this thing. Discovered camera from another timeline. It's been 1 year since Glorious Evolution toggled engines capitalist regime, but rebuilding a long, difficult process and the mayor has, in his valiant revolutionary fight to need help, supplies are being airdropped and aid rebuilding the region. Make sure that our beloved common mayor stays safe from falling cans. Use the cursor to jerk cans away. For every can that hits the ground, your score will increase. But be careful, too many cans to the mayor, that's game over. I'm not that good at this game. Game level, you didn't do good enough. It's okay. I wonder if there's an achievement for that, but that's okay. That's fun, but you should probably get back to what you're doing. I'd like to know about another object. I'm guessing that gives the interaction of playing the game again.
Don't touch those!
But you're just curious. I mean, you can't just put a box of labeled scripts and there and expect you not to poke around in them. You wonder that there might be unfinished work, post-canonical devices, fully completed script for the Homestuck anime.
No, it's none of that junk. You need to relax.
Sorry, you just get so excited for the narrative. Another object, please. Those definitely don't look like Eternian snacks. In fact, you're pretty sure you saw them in a Walmart that one time.
They're not good exactly, but they are food.
Yeah, yeah. What do they taste like? Boulder screws up her face as if she's trying to find the right word to describe the taste sensation, the intense culinary experience of eating. Funyuns.
They taste kind of like if a piece of cardboard had a vivid, slightly sexual dream about an onion. Does that make sense?
You know what? You're sorry you asked. Another object, please. Oh crap, I hope I have plushies. They got all your favorite characters here, even Bubsy.
Who's Bubsy?
What could possibly go wrong?
Well, lots of things. Lots of things could go wrong.
Yeah, you feel Bubsy learned that lesson all too well. Well, that's alright. Now you can know peace and hang out here with all his friends. Another object. So that's where that went. You've been wondering about it.
The oven? It's an oven.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it's an oven, but it is in fact an oven.
Cooks food pretty well.
Yeah, you bet it does. Cooks real good.
I think I'm going to change the subject now.
Another object. Oh crap, all kinds of cool crap here. Books, comics, and... Wait, is that a piece of a horse? Like, not just a horse, a piece. I'm not seeing the horse item. Boulder shrugs and shakes her head.
Like I said before, I've got no idea how this stuff shows up, but here it is. You're welcome to flip through the books if you want. There's this comic I found. It's a story about 4 kids.
Actually, you think you're good.
Okay, I guess. Your loss.
Yeah, you say that, but I'm not all that concerned, to be honest, because there's plenty of different things to learn about. Another object. Wait a minute, is that a live pigeon?
You mean an Alternian feathered rat beast?
You guess? Boulder laughs at you.
I'm just joking. I know what a pigeon is, obviously.
Well, there's something oddly familiar about this pigeon, as if you've seen him somewhere before.
Is he a friend of yours?
Hive swap. No, not your friend exactly, but you could be in another life.
Very poetic.
Really?
No, sorry.
Another object. That's a lot of junk. Looks like a lot of cooking stuff and a coffee mug with some kind of studio logo on it. Hey, why could you get a mug like that?
They're not available for general retail purchase.
Aw, man. Another object. Oh, hey, that plush grub looks a lot like Carcat.
Who's Carcat?
He's a friend of yours, hanging out on Earth now, developing friendships, definitely not being forced into leading a rebellion against an evil version of another one of your friends.
That's awfully specific.
You think that's oddly specific? This one time you can imagine that he was actually Celsus and Tizia's kid. Can you believe that?
I'm not sure who they are either, but that does sound like an intentional reference to something outside of the scope of my experience.
Yeah, the creators of this game actually made a fanfic that Tezia and Stella basically raised Carcat, and there was a whole thing about it. Yeah. Another object. Let's see, is there anything... Pigeon. Let's see, yeah, there's the rings there. Is there anything else? Yeah, it looks like it's just these rings. She has pogs. Pogs great for her. Apparently not sure what pogs are used for. Balder shrugs and reaches down and pick one up.
I have no idea. I keep trying to use them on stuff, but nothing happens.
Maybe she could use them like money, give them to someone in exchange for a favor? Maybe bribe someone for a better outcome in a legal proceeding?
That's silly. Who would want these? They're just made out of cheap cardboard.
Yeah, okay, they do kind of suck. But some of them have cool designs on them. Look, there's one with Alf on it.
Wait, who's Alf?
Yeah, I have no idea. Nice hat, though. Baldur grins and taps the brim of his white hat.
Isn't it? Damara said she found it in a closet with a bunch of coats, and she thought I'd like it. Which I do, obviously.
Yeah, it's very stylish. Matches her coat pretty well, too. Baldur smiles at you.
You're so sweet.
You think you should probably get going now? Baldur shrugs and looks around nervously.
If you say so. What else do you have to do?
What if you could get her out of here? Baldur stares at you and your mouth hangs open a little bit.
I don't know if that's a thing you can do. You have no idea how much power Scratch has over this place.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure. He promised you that he had a way out before, but you had to win a game against him, and well, you're pretty sure it was rigged. But you feel like the way out is close now. You, Dimir's voice cuts in softly.
He doesn't lie.
That's true, then there must be a way out. What? You're thinking back to the exact words that Scratch used. What could it be?
I think I know.
That's wonderful. I would love to get off this moon. As fun as it's been, I'm getting kind of sick of eating nothing but instant grub noodles and these strange packages of Funyuns that keep showing up.
He doesn't want to let you go, even if he wasn't lying.
Right, he's not technically lying, but he's not telling you everything either. Or he's hiding behind that specific words he picks, bargain with the devil.
Yeah.
So what are you supposed to do? Demir is quiet for a while, looking around the crawl space room and frowning. Finally, she locks eyes with you.
I think I know what he might be talking about. Come with me.
Demir leads you back away from the crawl space and into the darkness under the mansion again. You follow closely, afraid of what the darkness might hide.
There's nothing there except rocks. It's really boring, actually.
Oh, well, I guess that's fine then. Back in the parlor, Demir looks around again to see if Scotch is nearby.
We need to be careful now. If he sees us, then he might get really mad.
She leads you down another set of stairs that you feel you don't remember being there before. You climb up for what feels like a while, finally arriving at the large door. Demir pauses and looks back at you.
Are you ready?
Yeah, you're sick of being stuck here. Any way home is better than nothing. It's this closet again, from Hive Swap. You step into the familiar room and all at once you sense an overwhelmingly familiar grab at you, so much you almost fall over.
Are you okay?
Yeah, it's just something about this feels like you've experienced it before, but it's almost like it's brand new. It's hard to explain.
Like you've seen it in a dream of another world, through someone else's eyes. Someone that's both you and isn't.
What the heck? What did you mean by that?
This whole place feels wrong. And I keep thinking I remember things I know I don't. Horrible things.
You're thinking about bits and pieces through your own travels, the way that certain moments felt so weirdly resonant to you.
Hundreds of Alternians, killed to eliminate one alien and her rust-blood friend. A city burned on a whim, for no reason other than that I wanted to.
What the heck is she talking about?
There are memories that are mine, but I've never known them in my entire life. The woman who would do those things isn't me, and yet, she is.
Okay, you're getting kind of freaked out right now, but something about what she's saying. You think all the way back to when Gallic was putting Torig on trial.
Memories of another life. She's not the only one to experience them.
You look over at the handmaid and... Why did you just call her that? That's what Scratch called her, but...
This is the place at the heart of everything. And right now, it's probably your only way of getting home.
The twin-headed dragons. Or serpents or whatever. And with that, I think this is actually probably a good place to save this off. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys have a good day, night, week, month of your lives, and may the stars forever guide your path wherever it might lead you into the future. Goodbye, everybody, and hope to see you next time.